there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 doo. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure, and maybe give it a like if you want. Hey, let's do a random ranking. Let's go to my movie collection behind me and pick out 3 movies at random and then rank those movies based on whatever criteria we come up with. I'll rank them here in the video, but if you'd like to rank them in the comments below, please feel free to do so. Let's get to picking some movies. Okay, so let's see. I strained my back last night, slept wrong on it, and it's hurting. So I'm not gonna do anything too wild when it comes to picking these movies, because even this is a little much on my back. You know what? I'm gonna pick 2 that are next to each other. Also, I'm catching my kids' cough. Very mild compared to what they had, but I have it. So I may be coughing every once in a while throughout this video, although I feel like I'm doing a good job of setting that aside. Okay, so here we go. We got 2 Blu-rays and 1 DVD. First, we have the DVD, which is Taken. Do you remember this movie? I have a special set of skills. I liked this movie. How many were there? I think I saw the first 2, and then I don't think I kept with it. Are there only 2? I think there are more. Maybe even be quite a bit more. But the actress, the actress that played the mother, Famke Janssen, like her because she's in the X-Men franchise, the movies. She plays Jean Grey, Phoenix. So yeah, I always like her. But this person right here, who plays the daughter, I feel like they either casted whoever I can't even remember her name, but who they casted, I feel like may have been a little old, or they were too old for the part, or they were playing it too young. You know, it just didn't feel natural. She was almost acting a little too kiddish in some scenes, and then other scenes I was like, but she looks like she's grown up. I don't know. It was like, should they have hired somebody younger, or should she have played it a little older? I don't know, but I always thought that was a little off. But Liam Neeson, he's doing some awesome stuff in this. It's a good film. I've only seen it maybe once or twice. Next, we have Born on the 4th of July, directed by Oliver Stone. I actually got to see a special screening of this where I had the chance to meet Oliver Stone. This screening was at Roger Ebert's Film Festival, known as Ebert Fest, and when I met him, I got him. I brought this with me, and I brought my steelbook of Platoon, and I handed him Platoon first, and he signed it, and it looks awesome. It's like so cool. It's a matte colored steelbook, matte black steelbook, and then he signed it, and I think it's in silver, and it just looks really cool. And then I handed him this, you know, the insert, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I only want to do 1 per person." So I was like, "Okay, that's fine," but it was kind of weird because this is the movie we watched, and I wish I would have handed him this first. Even though the steelbook looks amazing, I wish I would have handed him this first, because this is the movie that we watched together, so it would have made more sense. But yeah, this movie is interesting for him, I feel like. Maybe not like subject matter, but a lot of the content is very Americana, at least on the early end, the way it's portrayed. But I know he's trying to sell it that way, so it is purposeful, but it's also weird to see him do that, because I feel like he's usually doing grittier things, which this movie does become eventually. But it's like I don't know, it was just kind of interesting to see more of this Americana look at the beginning of the movie and think, wow, Oliver Stone's directing this, you know. Tom Cruise does great, but his mustache is awful. Tom Cruise may do his own stunts, but he does not grow his own mustaches. That is for sure. Good movie, but Tom, you should have grown out your own mustache. Next, we have All the world is waiting for you and the power you possess in your satin tights, fighting for your rights and the old red, white, and blue. I think I got some of the lyrics wrong. In your smashing tights? No, that's from Hook. Um, I think it's satin tights. Fighting for the red, white, and blue. Burn doo 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 burn burn. Man, I loved Wonder Woman. It wasn't on. Well, it eventually became on. It eventually was on in my area, but when I was a kid, when I'd spend a week with my grandparents up in Chicago every year, and they had some channel, I guess WGN, right? And I think they showed old Wonder Woman television show reruns, and that's how I would watch it. I always watch it there. But then when FX started, that channel, when it was brand new, it was mostly like a reruns channel. Like that, I watched all the old Batman and Robin. I watched the old Green Hornet. I watched old Wonder Woman, and that's how I got acquainted with that show on a more regular basis. Was watching on FX. FX was so cool when that channel first started because it was kind of like MTV, where MTV sort of took place in this like loft in New York City. FX was that way. They had this apartment complex called the FX apartment, and it was like they had these DJs or VJs, I should say, that rather than slinging music videos, they were slinging old episodes of television. Eight is Enough, Family Affair. Like I watched all of this great television from the 60s and 70s through the 80s. All these reruns I caught up on as a kid. It was really cool. And then they would also have like uh, shows that they would do inside the FX apartment, which was like kind of like TRL on MTV. So they had this show called Special FX, the collectible show. And basically, what they would do is they would go to people's homes, and then those people would show off their collection. Um, they had one called the Pet Department, which was just an hour, maybe 30, probably 30-minute segment uh, where people would bring their pets up to, and they'd have special guests on, experts that would come up and to the apartment and talk about their pets or how to be a pet owner and things like that, and they would take them to Central Park and walk them and stuff like that. It was so cool. I loved those early days of FX. It was awesome. But anyway, that's how I really got acquainted with Wonder Woman. But I watched a lot of shows back then. I think that's how I watched Mission Impossible too. I'm pretty sure they had Mission Impossible. It was such a great time. I loved FX back then, and then they turned into like a normal channel, and then it wasn't as good anymore. Um, but anyway, I really like this movie. Yes, the villains are a little, and then things at the end kind of turn less interesting. But I like the beginning. I like the middle. I like the no man's land. I mean, I like the movie overall. There's just like a couple things I can point at, and I'd be like, I don't really like that choice. I don't like that choice over there. But the movie as a whole, it still works for me. I'm a big fan of this when it comes to the DCEU films. This one's really up there for me. Yeah, I like it a lot. Okay, I like this and the Suicide Squad movies. Okay, excuse me. So how are we gonna rank them? How are we gonna rank them? You know, so I think it's easy to say this is the best one, but that fake mustache, sorry, Tom, that alone, that fake mustache alone, all you gotta do is grow it out. Just grow it out. Um, I mean, you can do your own stunts. Grow out your own mustache. But because of that fake mustache, I'm gonna put Born at the Fourth of July, Born on the Fourth of July, at at the end there. And you know who died on the 4th of July? Thomas Jefferson and John Adams. Same day. What? Um, the same actual day, too. No years apart. Okay, so I think I'm getting that right. Is my history correct on that? But yeah, in Wonder Woman, I'm putting that at number one. Then Born on the 4th of July, and then Taken at the end. I really do need to rewatch Taken, but the daughter, I just remember thinking something fell off. She either needed to be younger or no, she either needed to be younger or the actress they did have needed to play her older. Just something about her made her seem like she was trying to act like a 12-year-old, and it's like you're clearly a teenager. You may even be 20 or something. I don't remember. Okay, here we are. Wonder Woman, Born on the 4th of July, Taken. My question to you is, have you seen these movies? And if so, what do you think of them? If you've seen all three, how would you rank them? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.